Alright, today I'm going to show you the Hexagon cardigan. This is the first half of my Hexagon cardigan. I have made the first half already. Sleeve, as you can see, has been cuffed already, and front, back. Now I'm going to show you how to start the second side. So you start here and you work your way out. And once you get it as wide as you want on the sleeve, then you just add rows on the back here. That's why I've got a bit extra here, and add rows on the sleeves. You can see I got to here on the sleeve with a continuous, and then I stopped, sewed it across the top and just around and around until I got the sleeve as long as I wanted it. Now I'm going to pack that over to the side here, and I'm going to, that yarn is still attached to that. I don't know if I need to make it any bigger. Now I've got my yarn here that I'm using and my hook. I'm using this yarn here. You can use whatever yarn you like. I'm using 8 ply. This yarn is 8 ply, and I'm using a 5mm hook just because I want it that little bit on the looser side. I don't want it super tight tension. Now I'm going to make my slip knot. So wrap my yarn around, and actually I'll zoom in so you can see it better. I'll do my slip knot. I'll wrap my yarn around. I've got my tail here, and take my tail loosely over that, and then take that over the top and pull both of those tight. All right, I'm just going to pause it for a sec and adjust my camera. All right, I think that's a bit better of an angle. Maybe, no, zooming out is too much. Okay, just going to make that slip knot a bit tighter, and I'm going to pop it on my hook. And I don't like to start with a magic circle, so I'm going to start with a chain 4. And then I'm going to join that. So I'm going to put my hook into the first chain I made, like that. So it looks like this on my hook. You can see I've got the 2 loops. I just want to get the tail out of the way. And then I'm going to yarn over and make that into a circle. So here's my circle here. You can see just there. I'm going to chain 3, which will count as my first stitch, my first double crochet. And then I'm going to go into the center of the circle and pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So I'm doing double crochet in US terminology. And then in between each group of 3, I'm doing just a chain 1 today for this pattern. I don't want big gaps in my cardigan. I want it to be nice and warm, so I'm just doing a group of 3, a chain 1, a group of 3. I've already chained 1. I'm doing another group of 3. Like with a granny square, you're doing them in clusters of 3, but I need to have them in, it's a hexagon cardigan, this pattern, so I need to have 6 groups of 3 and 6 chain 1 spaces. So I will keep going until I have my 6. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to chain 1. I'm just going to slide it around on my circle so I've got a bit more room. I don't want to crochet over what I've already done. So this is, I'm just going to crochet over my tail too as I go. So this is my 5th group of 3. Dear me, I'm watching on the recording screen instead of what I'm actually doing, and I keep missing my stitch. Chain 1 and my last group of 3. So I'm working all my groups of 3 into this circle center here, last one, and then I chain one, and I've got my hexagon. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there is 6 chain 1 spaces. I've just got to do my, I know I've already done my last chain 1. Now I'm going to join it to the first stitch I made. Here's 1, 2, 3, my 3rd chain. Just here, I want to put my hook in there, and I'm picking up 2 bits of yarn, and I'm going to yarn over and pull that through everything on my hook. And then I've got my hexagon. Doesn't look like much at the moment. If you need to, you can put stitch markers in each of your corners. So I'm over here now, as you can see, I'm here, but I want to start my next clusters in my next corner space. So I'm going to slip stitch across to get to the corner. So I'm just going to put my hook into, here's my post here, here's my next double crochet. Oops. There. So I'm going to slip stitch in there, and I'm going to slip stitch into the next one, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the corner. So now I'm in the corner and I'm ready to start my next round. Just got a little knot here. I'm just going to untangle this. I'm just going to do about 3 or 4 rounds on camera, and then I will show you later, because it is just, once you get the hang of it, it's just continuous. So I'm going to chain 3, which counts as my first stitch, and I'm going to do 2 double crochet because that chain 3 counts as 1. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to do another 3 into this same spot because I'm making the corner. In between, I'm not chaining at all. That's just my preference for this cardigan. You can chain if you want. You can chain 2, 1, 3, whatever you feel like. I just want mine to be not solid, but solid enough that it's warm for me in winter. Because I've got one of these cardigans that I've done in 8 ply with a 6.5 mil hook, and I've done it with 2 gaps and then 3 on the sides, because I wear that one in summer. It's a cotton one. So now I've got two corners. So here's my chain 1. No chaining in here. I'm not chaining here. You can if you want, but I'm not. And then I've got my 3, chain 1, 3. Now again, I'm not chaining. I'm just going straight into my next corner, and I'm doing my 3 double crochet. Sorry, that's my dog if you can hear him. He's sitting on the floor under my feet, having a bit of a groan. He wants pats. So I've got my 3rd group. Now I'm going into my 4th corner. I'm not normally a fan of variegated yarn, but I saw this one and really liked the colours. It reminded me of a blanket that a lady at my class did. She used not this yarn, but similar sort of colours, and I really liked it. And I like, my sister has a cardigan that she made in this pattern with no chain spaces in it, and that's what inspired me to do this one with only chain 1s in the corner, because I liked the way hers sat and it was nice and warm. I did wear it once. And now I'm going to finish the next cluster. So just US double crochets, one more group to go. You can see the shape is starting to form. I do just have a little knot in my yarn here. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, double crochet, chain 1, and 1, 2, 3. Now I want to join it up to where I started, so you can see, oops, you can see I've got my hexagon shape happening. That's just my tail. You can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, yes. Now I'm going to find that chain 3 I made. 1, 2, 3, and put my hook into there, picking up 2 parts of that chain and pulling yarn over and doing a slip knot. So I'll do one more round on camera and I'll show you again. So I'm here, I need to start in a corner space. So I'm going to slip stitch across. Can you see where I'm putting my hook? Sorry, now my doggo is barking. So here's my post, here's my chain, here's my post, and here's my, sorry, not my chain, the top of my stitch. So I want to slip stitch into there. So a slip stitch is just put your hook in. I've only got the working loop on my hook and I've put my hook into the stitch and then I just yarn over and pull that through both loops. So again, you can see I'm going into this next one and I'm yarning over and pulling it through everything on my hook, and then I want to do that to get into, oops, the corner space as well. And then I can chain 3, which is my first stitch, and do 2 double crochet. Sorry, apologies for the dog barking. The neighbour's got the audacity to mow his lawn and the dog is highly offended by it. Sorry. I would normally yell out like a crazy to tell him to whoosh up, but that means pausing the video again. So here's my first corner done. Now I'm going to work a side into here. Gosh. So I'm not chaining to get there. I'm just going straight in to there and doing a side. Okay, I'm actually going to have to pause this and go and bring my dog inside. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. He's back inside now. Oh dear. So you can see here I've got my corner, and then in this space I'm doing my side, which is just a cluster of 3. And then I'm going to do my next corner. So 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, all into that next spot. Chain 1 and 3 more. So if I'm going to see how it's starting to ruffle, that's quite normal because you're not making a square, you're making a hexagon. So it is going to do that. Oh, he's now barking inside. Leroy, come and sit down. Come and sit down, Mr. Brown. Stop being naughty. You're embarrassing yourself. On the internet as well as with the neighbours. Okay, so this is my side. I'll just pop it down and show you where I'm at. So, would be helpful if I put it in the camera view. Sorry about that. So you can see I'm halfway around. I'm going to keep going into my next corner. No. Hey, sit down. Sit down. Never work with animals and children, eh? And I'm not even working with him. He's just wants to get his 5 minutes of fame. Another side done. Into my next corner. Oops, I almost did that in the wrong spot then. Now these cardigan, once you get the hang of it, is just repeating all the way around until you get to the size you want, which is normally the way I measure that is around the top of my arm for whoever I'm making it for. So I'll show you how it folds at the end of this round. I'm nearly finished. I've just got a corner and a side to go. And then I will show you how it folds in this teeny little size, and you'll get more of an idea. It's very very simple, this pattern. If you can do a granny square, you can do this. You're just making it with your center is 6 parts instead of 4, and then you're just working in the round. You can change colors every round. You can do it in a single color. You can do it in variegated. I've done these cardigans and this is the first variegated one I've actually done. I normally just change color every round. Or I do them solid colors. Now you can see my shape has started. I've got to join this here. Again, the chain 3 you made, 1, 2, 3. I've got to find that third chain and pop my hook into there, just like that. So I've got my working loop on my hook and I'm in that third chain, and then I just yarn over and pull it through both. Now I'll show you, let me zoom out for a minute so you've got a bit better of a view. Sorry about my messy dining room table. You can see that it looks like a tiny, teeny little cardigan. Can see, so here it would be your arm and the body, the front and the back. So you just keep working around and around and around in the rows until you get the desired width you want, as in this one here, when I got to the width of how I wanted it to fit around my arm. Let me just try and zoom in a bit better, make it a bit clearer, sorry. So once I got that width, which is from here to here, sorry, here to here. So you're looking at this is this little bit here, and we keep going until we get this as wide as we want it. And then I add the length here to make the sleeve the length I want. Obviously I don't want the sleeve super wide, so I don't want to you know, keep going. I think I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where did I stop? here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I added 6 rows to my sleeve in length, and then I think I added about a bit more in the length of the actual cardigan. So here you can see is where I finished in the round, and I've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, I've done the same, 6 rows in length. I may actually add more to the length. It just depends once I finish this second side. But just so you get an idea of how to start it, and you just keep going. So I'm here, I will slip stitch across to the corner, start my next row in the corner, and again the corners are always the same. It's your sides that grow, so your corners are always 3 double crochet, chain however many you're chaining, in my case 1, and then another 3 double crochet. And then see here, I've got one side here. On the next row I'll have 2 sides. I'll have a 3 double crochet here and a 3 here, and then into the corner, and the same 2 sets of 3 double crochet on the next round, and then the one after I'll have 3 sets of double crochet on the sides. So your corners are always the same. It's your sides that grow and make your project bigger. So that's how you do that. I will do a part 2 when I'm ready to join it. And yeah, come back when you're ready to join it, and I will show you how to join and make the cuffs and the ribbing on your sleeve, and around I'll put a ribbing around the whole neck and the base of the cardigan as well. But I need to finish this second panel, and then I sew them together, and then yeah, do the ribbing all in one go. All right, okay, I'm going to show you how to put the ribbing on the sleeve. So this is one side of the cardigan. I've joined it up, and I've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows on here. Sorry, I counted that wrong. Let me show you. Here's my last corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've added 6 rows in length. Now I am going to show you how to do the decrease on the sleeve. I'm going to start with my slip knot. I'm using a different color for the cuff on this. That's just my personal choice. You can use the same as your cardigan. You can use whatever color you want. Obviously, you do you. Now, I'm going to start. Here's the top of my sleeve. I'm just going to start approximately underneath it. You can start wherever you want. And the first 2 rows I'm going to be doing here are a decrease of single crochet just to cinch the side in. So I'm attaching my yarn just with a chain 1, pull that nice and tight, and then I'm going to do a single crochet in there. That chain 1 is not going to count as a stitch. And I'm going to do a single crochet and a decrease all the way around. Now that's a decrease. I'll explain to you what it is. A single crochet is no yarning over. I'm just got the working loop on my hook, and I'm going straight into the stitch. I'm yarning over and pulling up a loop with 2 loops on my hook. I'm yarning over and pulling through both. That's a single crochet. And now I'm going to show you how to do a decrease. So a single crochet decrease. So there's no yarn over again. You go into the stitch and pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook. You go into the next stitch and pull up a loop. So you have 3 loops on your hook, and then you yarn over and pull through all 3. So you've got 2 stitches at the bottom, and you're making it into 1 at the top. So I'm just doing that all the way around. I'm doing a single crochet, and then I'm doing a single crochet decrease all the way around on my cuff. Just working over that tail as I go as well. And I'm just doing that all the way around. Das, can you check that this is actually filming right for me, please?
It's filming right?
You can see clearly where I'm going?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do need to get into the kitchen, but I can't squeeze past.
Pause it then. This side.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I'm almost back to the start, so I'm just going to show you this last bit again. So I'm doing a single crochet and a decrease. A single crochet. So a single and then a decrease. And this is pulling the cuff in because the sleeve is quite large. If you didn't want to pull the sleeve in, you could do the ribbing like this and have it like a bell sleeve or a large sleeve. I like my cuff to come in a little bit. I also don't want my cuff super tight. So now I'm back at the beginning. So you can see, if you look at it, you can see I've got a single, a decrease, a single, a decrease, single, decrease. And then I'm going to slip stitch into that first single crochet I made to close the round. And I'm going to chain one. Again, doesn't count as a stitch. Now this row, I'm going to do 2 single crochets and then a decrease all the way around, just to bring it in a little bit more, but not too much. If you want to bring yours in more, you could do another row of single and a decrease. It just depends how tight you like your cuff, and it's really also about a bit of trial and error too. So I'm doing 2 single crochets and then I'm doing a decrease like that. So I just turned the project around, sorry. So I've got a single crochet, a single crochet, and then a decrease like that all the way around. Single, single, and then a decrease. I'm going to keep doing that. I just dropped my yarn until I get back to the start. If you have trouble finding your starting place, because they're only single crochets, they're not very high, you could always put a stitch marker in your first stitch just to make sure your stitch count stays the same. I'm going to pause this now and come back at the end. All right, I've got one more decrease left to go, and then I'm back to my start. So again, I'm going to slip stitch into there to finish it off. And you can see it's pulled it in on my cuff. Now I'm going to do my rows of double crochet. So I'm going to chain 3 because that's the height of my double crochet. And I'm going to do a rounded double crochet all the way around. Dropped my yarn on the floor, so just have to deal with that. Oops. So used to doing singles, I forgot to yarn over. And going into here, so I'm going into each single crochet now, and I'm doing a double on this first row all the way around. So I'll just show you this as I go around. It's just a simple double crochet, and then on the next round I'm going to show you how to turn this into a ribbing by doing a front post double crochet and then a back post double crochet, and we alternate that all the way around. I will pause this and come back. Okay, so I'm doing my last double crochet here, and then I'm going to join it and show you how to do. I'm joining that to my 3 chains that I've made. So I'm just going to put my hook into here, slip stitch it to join, do my 3 chains, which is my first stitch, and then I'm going to alternate front post, back post all the way around. So to do that, I'm doing a front post double crochet first. So I yarn over, I go in through the front like that. So from the front to the back and then back to the front. And then I pull up a loop with 3 loops on my hook. I yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. The next one is a back post. So I'm going in from the back, around the front and back to the back. And pulling up a loop and yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So it's just a normal double crochet, but it's about where the placement is. So this is the front post that I just did. This is the back. When I do the back, I go from the back to the front and back to the back. Pull up a loop and do the double crochet. The front post is front, so front to back and back to front. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll just pull up my yarn because I dropped it on the floor. So I'm going like this. So front, back, front. Pull up a loop, double crochet, yarn over, back, front, back. And what I'm doing, alternating that, you can see the rib. As I get a couple of more rows done, you'll see it in more definition. I'll come back in a minute. Okay, so as you can see now, I finished the cuff. It's got a nice little bit of a stretch to it. Here's my 2 rows of single crochet decrease, which pulled my cuff in. You can see how much it's pulled the cuff in nicely. And then I've got 5 rows of the front post, back post. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and you can see it fits. It's not super tight, but it's nice and loose. That's how I like it. If you wanted it a bit tighter, you could add another row of decrease in your single crochet first before you start the ribbing. It's just personal preference. Or if you wanted to leave it as a bell sleeve, you wouldn't do the decrease. You could just do the cuff. Yeah, whatever you wanted. But that's how I do my ribbing on the sleeve and pull it in.
Okay.
Is it recording?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you how I'm joining this. This is how you join the top of the sleeve and the back center of the cardigan. I'm just joining it with a needle and thread, and I'm doing it in the back loop only, so it's creating this seam here. And if you see, I'm picking up this loop on this side and this loop on this side. These are the 2 back loops. These are the front loops. I'm leaving them, and then I'm just pulling the needle and thread through there like that and joining it. So front loop, back loop, back loop, front loop. I'm just going in the back loop only and pulling it through like that all the way up to the top. Turn off now.